Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Tuesday, October 1st, 2024 pre-market report. People, thank you to all of you who kept me in their thoughts and prayers yesterday. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I just got hit with something, knocked me off of my feet. I was pretty much incapacitated for the entire day. Now, thousands of you kept me in your thoughts and prayers. People, I believe this with every fiber of my being. The power of prayer cannot be underestimated. You all know what happened with my sister Lori. By the grace of God Almighty and your prayers, she was cured of cancer, and that is epic. Anyway, with that said, people, we do have work to do, but again, I want to thank you all from my heart for keeping me in your thoughts and prayers. All right, now with that said, let us move forward here. So, what's happening? Well, it looks like it occurred, and I'm talking about this. So this strike is in effect right now. What did I write here? Crisis. Look, the United States functions only moving from crisis to crisis to crisis. And the cost of this apparently is going to cost between 4 and 5 billion per day. That's to the U.S. economy. What is going to be the solution here if this is prolonged? You already know it. What do? With every single crisis that comes along? They throw cash at it. They throw cash at it. And even more cash at it. War, expanding war. We can't fund our own government. All we can do is kick the can down the road, you see, because that would help you. You can't be helped. This is a destruction. This is an extinction level event, not just here in the United States, but around the world as central banks continue their stranglehold on all of us here. So this mechanism, it's just, honestly, it's what makes the United States the laughing stock of the world. Historic strike is underway. U.S. ports, the impact, supply chains could be huge. Remember when they shut down, this isn't too long ago, something called COVID? They shut down the entire world economy. They shut it down. And what happened? They threw trillions at it. Here in the United States alone, 3.6 trillion. On a global scale, the numbers are astronomical. And what did it do? It pushed the stock markets higher. And I wrote here, I always scribble. See what I do? The first things that pop into my head, I tend to write them down. So I wrote, no crisis will go to waste. Expect something to go on behind the scenes here that they do not want you to pay attention to. Again, this is what they do. It's their MO. It's how they operate. Focus here. Look over here. Raise the specter of fear. And people are paralyzed. They can't act. So they pull stuff off in the background. They always do. And it's just this mechanism here. It's just not going to stop. So just be aware of that. And that's going to lead me to what I want to talk about really at the end of this video. So stick around a little bit. Let us move forward. So here's another piece of laughable information again. You think this is true? Powell says the U.S. economy is on solid shape and the Fed intends to keep it that way. Well, what are they going to do? They're going to throw oceans of cash at it by the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates, currency devaluation, markets going higher. As the faster this comes down, the economy, well, the higher the market's going to go. Here we go. Powell indicates further rate cuts, but insists the Fed is not on a preset course. Really? You see, because I seem to recall, and so do you, the last FOMC meeting, Federal Open Market Committee, the Federal Reserve, they're federal. You know they are because that's in their title. They're federal, right? They're not federal. There's nothing federal about them. They're not a part of the government. Anyway, that's just the way it works. Anyway, so here we go. Indicates further rate cuts, more quantitative easing, obviously. But why is it, if our economy is in solid shape, is the Fed resorting to full-on QE, which is, of course, emergency monetary policy, which is meant to boost the stock market. That's all it's meant to do. As we are in absolute free fall. Let us move forward here. Here's the game. Let me explain this to you. Okay, so we're in another crisis, supposedly. However long this goes on, the longer this goes on, the better for the Federal Reserve. It'll give them more of an opportunity to throw more cash at it. Who's going to make up the difference for the economy with the 4 to 5 billion per day that this is going to cost the economy? Of course, the Fed's going to make it up. They manage it all. They're managing the debt market, the stock markets, the economy, which they run. Again, there's some of you who still believe, it's astonishing to me, that the economy is actually run by presidents. The world economy, maybe it's run by kings, dictators, monarchs. No. The economy of the world is run by central banks. They're the ones responsible for monetary policy, period. The rest of it is just a freak show. Now, what you and I are going to do, regardless of what crisis they want to throw at us, they want to throw a crisis like this at us here, and there's going to be another one after this, and another one after that, and another one even after that. We're going to be watching risk. This is all that matters. I already told you yesterday in the only video that I did in the morning, throw everything else out. What's going on here is just too easy to understand. The mechanism here, people, look, the MMRI, I'm going to talk about it every freaking day. Best indicator you're ever going to find to understand risk in the market, to see with your own eyes. This is not squiggly lines, what the Federal Reserve is doing. This trend here, again, back in June, is when the Fed started their full-blown, full-on quantitative easing phase. And what did that do? It cratered bond yields. It caused rates to drop to a 2-year low. That's what we have right now. But the Fed wasn't cutting rates then. No, they weren't. But so how did that happen? Oh, maybe you can explain that to me. Of course, they're in here. They're buying it all. The number one tool that the Federal Reserve or any other central bank uses to artificially suppress rates is via QE, quantitative easing. And the Fed's going to continue doing that, creating cash out of nothing to buy the debt. You know how it works. The debt is being monetized to a degree we've never seen before. And that's going to give them an opportunity to inflate even more. Again, keep that in mind because I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. Anyway, so as I said, as long as this mechanism goes on, they can throw whatever crisis they want at us. We know what we need to do. Which means we need to look for opportunities to, buy it all ourselves. That means get long of the market. You know that. Commodities, the lower this goes, the more so commodities will become on sale across the board, including cryptocurrencies, which are not commodities, but it's a whole another asset class. You know how I feel about crypto, period, the freaking end. I'm not going to change my mind on that. So currency devaluation, artificially suppressed rates, this is going to boost the market. And the longer this new crisis goes on, the more of an opportunity it's going to give the Fed to buy it all. Now let's move forward here. My poor Eurozone friends, my heart goes out to you. You're in deep shape. I understand that. But what is this going to do? Eurozone economy is facing headwinds, according to Le Gargoyle. What Le Gargoyle is saying here, without saying it, do you read between the lines here, my lions? What is the message here that Le Gargoyle is trying to broadcast without saying it? What is it? What is it? I didn't write anything here. I want you to figure this out on your own. She's saying, you could count on us. We are going to inflate on a vast scale. We're going to cut rates from here to kingdom come. That's what she is saying. And all it's going to do, Le Gargoyle, allow the European Central Bank to get even stronger. These central banks got us by the throat and by the... You know where I'm pointing at? Yeah. By the... You can't say it. But that's what they're doing here. Now, war is expanding everywhere. You know this. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. More funding for war. What did we just send? Ukraine, another 8 billion, another installment, of course. And Israel, 8.7 billion. Hundreds of billions have already been spent, and it's not going to stop. This mechanism of war, expanding war, you know what it's really all about. It's a mechanism to pull more cash into the now. I used to say, and you know this, that war generates the need for more borrowed dollars than any other endeavor on this planet Earth, but I was wrong. It's scamdemics. Here in the United States, 3.6 trillion alone. And it's an epic. So what that comes down to is this. Now, this is a chart I'm going to show you. I always tell you, utilize the Federal Reserve's own website as a weapon against them. All the information you need is pretty much right there. This is a chart going back to 1950 with regard to so-called government debt. I want you to pay attention to this. 1950, look how this is expanded. Now look at the spikes. Look at the spikes there with COVID. Can you see that? That was beautiful, wasn't it? This is going to continue. How many of you believe that no matter who is selected to sit behind the resolute desk, that government waste is just going to stop? That government spending, this is just going to drop? How many of you are living in that kind of a delusion? Up your medicine a little bit, maybe just a little bit, or maybe a lot of it. I don't know. I ain't gonna stop. This mechanism here. Look see my arrow. That's where we're going here with regard to so-called government spending. This is going to expand on a scale you can't believe. Again, understand why. Crisis, throw cash at it. Another crisis, throw cash at it. Another crisis, throw cash at it. That's all it's about. And how does this help you? It doesn't. This leads to massive currency devaluation. It leads to inflation. It leads to a much, much, much lower standard of living. Duh. Do you see what's going on here, man? I mean, I just can't believe that there's still some people, and they write to me all the time, oh, Greg, you don't understand what's going to happen when so-and-so gets behind the Resolute desk. You're wrong. Everything's going to be a utopian society. We're going to return to some kind of a loving, beautiful state of affairs for the people. You can't make this stuff up, but that's what some people believe because, again, they're delusional or frankly, I don't know what they are. But this mechanism is not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's been going on since, well, forever. This just goes back to 1950. So you can expect, not just here in the United States, globally, what central banks are going to do is, again, inflate on a scale that you and I just can't even possibly believe here. We are being destroyed. We're being systematically erased. I think we're pretty much on the same page. Well, I'm going to say this. It's going to be shocking. Some people, not you, if you follow this blog, are going to be shocked at what you see moving forward. But I thought that this was going to happen because so-and-so is sitting behind the Resolute desk. No, whatever you believe, the polar opposite is going to occur on a grand scale. I guarantee you that. There's just no doubt about it. And those of us that understand that are in the best possible positions moving forward. All right, I'm not just talking about from a financial standpoint, people. This is a game I like to play. You all know that. All right, the markets to me is a challenge to get in here. Look where cash is flowing, the most likely place it's going to go moving forward. All right, you and I, we couldn't be better off staying long the market, buying the market at every opportunity that comes along. Adding to our commodity exposure, silver, you know that, number one, Greg's favorite asset of all time. Period. I mean, it should make sense to you. If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. It's just too easy. It really is. So this port strike, trust me on this, it's a mechanism. And as, you know, the longer it goes on, the better it's going to be here for the Fed to make up the difference. Because again, this economy, it's just a mechanism here to allow the Fed to inflate. And central banks around the world, they're doing everything they can to destroy the current system. And you know why. Because a new system's coming. One of control on a biblical level. I don't know another way to put it here. It's really that extreme, and that's where we're going. There's no doubt about it. That means you and I, being that we are lions, will take action. We're not going to sit back in some corner and suck our thumb off. We know what's going on. We know who our enemies are. We know who the puppets are. And we're going to take advantage of this. This guy is. And that means you are too. Because I promise you from the beginning, from I don't know how long ago, there is no way on my watch you're not going to be made aware of what's happening, why it's happening, and what to do about it. The solutions here are too easy, people. Again, the solution is in our face. It's the polar opposite of what the Fed is doing and what both Kamala and Trump want. Again, they've aligned themselves with the Federal Reserve. They're promising for lower rates. We need higher rates. We need a stronger currency. You know that. But this is what we're being sold, and there are legions of people who believe it. You can't make it up if you try to. But what else would you expect in a society that has been dumbed down to such a degree that people cannot walk and chew gum at the same time? That's not you and me. That's not you and me. So let's take a vote, okay? How many of you believe that this is going to stop? That this this trend is going to stop? It's going to go down. Sorry to be laughing at you. But some of you who believe that are just, honestly, we're really just out there. Ain't going to stop. So anyway, we'll see where this port strike goes. And the longer it goes on, the better it is going to be here for the Fed. Of course, worse for you. You're not going to be happy about this. It could play out to be quite ugly. But again, look, they shut the entire global economy down. And what happened? Although the economy was dead, literally, it was at a standstill, what did the markets do? How did that happen? Oh, yes, the Fed pumped trillions of dollars into the system. Oh, yes, exactly. And you can expect more of that, too. This is not a black swan. I just can't. I don't know where you guys are getting this information from. I really don't. I did speak about that yesterday. It's epic. There's a lot of YouTubers that just don't get it. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming that's where you're getting that information from, and that's okay. I guess you need this kind of people around, and I don't know what kind of agenda they're pushing. Are they offering any solutions, or are they just whining about it? You and me, we understand what the solutions are. We're going to get it now. Because unfortunately, there are those here looking to destroy us. Puppet presidents or presidential selectees, whoever they are, align themselves with the Federal Reserve. This is a destruction. This is an extinction level event, people, period, the end. Now look, today is the 1st of the month. On the 1st of every month. Hey, Greg, you know what? You're doing a really good job. I want to support your work. I hope you do. A fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction. 0.0001% of you actually support my work. It's astonishing. But again, my heart goes out to everybody here, but I hope you do choose to support my work. If you do, all I ask for is $5. $5 a month. Like less than a cup of coffee these days. Greg, I want to support your work. If you feel like doing that, this is not compulsory. I'm just asking you, all right? I work my butt off here for you. Try to keep you ahead of the curve. I believe most of you would say I'm doing a pretty good job here. So please support my work. There are a couple of ways you can do this. There are links in the description of this video. Click on one of those. I love crypto. You can even send me cryptocurrency as well. So as I said, there are a few links here in the description of this video. Pick one of those that is best for you. And again, I really do hope that you choose to support my work because I got your back and I know you got mine as well. All right, people, that's it. We're going to see each other later, 4 or 5 p.m. I will be there today. All right, just no stopping me. Yesterday, I don't know what happened to me. I just hit a wall. All right, love you from the heart with all I got, people. Until we meet again later, and we will, no doubt. Please take care of yourselves and each other. All right.